Yes, when your hat and shirt matches. Good outfit planning. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about politics, one of my faves. Actually, in all seriousness, this is one of my favorite topics, so boys, if you into this, you better be down to talk politics. As a Canadian, our politics tend to be kind of boring, so I spend a lot of time paying attention to what's happening south of the border in the United States. That, and the fact that during the American presidential election, it's everywhere, so whether or not you want to hear about it, you hear about it. Which brings me to what I hate hearing about. Donald Trump. I just feel like we should have a candid conversation about Donald Trump because he was kind of funny at first because he's a bit of a political circus, but unfortunately, it's kind of become quite serious. He's at a point where he's leading the Republican nomination and actually has a really good chance of getting into the White House. Why is this a problem? Let's discuss. The scariest part about Donald Trump as President of the United States is what he can do. This puts a person who is openly derogatory in a position of very, very high power. If what he's been saying over the past few months is at all indicative of how he would be in office, he has the potential to do even more damage than he's already done. Donald Trump is not a politician. Donald Trump is a businessman. He has no experience in an elected position. He comes from the very, very high upper class and does everything in his power to put down the least privileged parts of society. He ostracizes immigrants, he's completely backwards on gay rights, and he puts down protesters at his rallies because of their physical appearance, their body shape, and even their disability. So I wonder, how are any of those behaviors electable? I don't get it. If you notice, Donald Trump is infamous for using minority groups as scapegoats for fear. He makes comments like all Muslims are bad, or illegal immigrants are ruining America. All these comments are a distraction from some of the real issues in the world, and most importantly, the fact that the rich are getting richer while the poor are being left in the dust. These comments blame entire portions of society for social and economic issues that actually have come from greedy people like Donald Trump being greedy for decades. And when I make a blanket statement like people like Donald Trump, I mean people who are offensively wealthy and blame disadvantaged people for the problems that we see in society. Donald Trump is somebody who has talked about taking away food stamps, cutting social programs to people who need it most, and yet expecting those individuals to work 40 hours a week or more on unlivable wages and somehow not need these services. And all of these cuts are made to save a quick buck. But if you want more people to live above the poverty line rather than below it, the reality is you need opportunities in society for people to work their way up. If you take away every support, you remove every single opportunity, how is anyone supposed to do better for themselves? And yet these are the issues that people like Donald Trump blame on the poor, blame on the LGBT community, blame on African Americans, blame on religions other than Christianity. If you look at what Donald Trump has said throughout the course of his campaign, he can be chalked up to be transphobic, homophobic, xenophobic, ableist, misogynistic, just to name a few. And that's not even mentioning that when he talks about public opinion and talks about statistics, a lot of the time he's feeding false information. So I have to ask, have we traveled back to a time where blatant discrimination is acceptable, where the way Donald Trump speaks is a way that can get you into office, where making blatant, outlandish comments that are based in absolutely nothing is seen as more valuable than fact and truth? My perspective, though, is that it's our responsibility to rise above that. It's our responsibility to say, no, hatred is not relatable, discrimination is not acceptable, and therefore, you're not getting my vote. So that is my perspective. What do you think of Donald Trump? Please comment down below, let me know. Thumbs this up, share it around if you enjoyed, always helps me out. And that's pretty much it for me today. So I will talk to you all next Friday, most likely. And until then, have a fantastic week. Talk to you later. Bye guys, David out.